wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I put the mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns out with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's you lost, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed and
What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are back from vacation, so you know what that means. Part 2 of the mini truck build, paint job. I'm going to show you guys, I have been working ahead, so I'm going to show you guys where I'm at versus where we left off in the last video. So, as you can see, we've got the truck lifted off, doors are off. I've already went ahead and went around, sanded everywhere that we've already primered from the last video. Get this out, show you an update of how far along I've came. Obviously I've completely gutted the doors, everything, and I did that because once it's on the truck I wasn't able to get back in here to Scotch-Brite and to prep all this correctly, as well as on inside the door. It's really hard when the doors are on here to get back in this area right here. It's just got the hinges and everything that's cramped up in there, so it's best just to take the doors off, gut it all the bolts, all the weather strip, everything, all the hinges, everything that's built onto that door. Take it off, prep it right, make sure you get all the cracks and crevices. That way when you go back and put your new color or new paint back on or new clear back on, everything's gonna stick and you don't have to worry about it peeling down the road. So I went ahead and did that. The doors will be put back on the truck when I go ahead and paint the blue. That's just because I want to make sure everything blends in, looks correctly. The fenders as well, I'm going to probably leave those on the stand and paint those since we're doing a whole paint job everywhere, pretty much all over, rather than just hang them and get overspray everywhere. So truck's going to get cleaned up, taped off. What I'm doing now is just going around and getting all the cracks and crevices that I missed, anything that's shiny. Going back with a Scotch-Brite and some 600, hitting that with my hand. As you can tell, like inside of here, it's just a little bit too shiny for me, so I'm going to go back through, and that's just what I've been working on, because we are really close to getting this thing ready for sealer. And what that means, after sealer, it's going to get base coat on it, so it's going to be ready for paint that quick. So I'm just trying to get all the little details, going back over the truck multiple times, making sure I didn't miss anything. Because like I've said in other videos, you don't want to go backwards. You always want to try to proceed forward. And by that, you know, once you spray paint, you're pretty much, you know, you don't want to go backwards. You don't want to sand that material off just to fix something because A, paint's not cheap. 2, it's just, you're wasting more time and it's more of a hassle once you're that far into it. So in the prepping stages, you want to make sure, go over it, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Make sure everything is ready for paint because, like I said, if you miss something that was supposed to be fixed and you go put paint over it, and it's going to show right back through that paint. So, especially when you clear it, it's just going to amplify it. So, at this stage, make sure you just go back over everything, you know, fine tune it, keep going, keep sanding, especially on stuff like this truck. It's obviously been painted, it's been restored, halfway restored, you know, probably 8-10 years ago. So it's been driven, it's gotten wear and tear on it. You know, like I said in the last video, we found some spots that were actually bubbling. So that's the type of stuff that you want to stop. You know, take your time, make sure you fix it correctly. That way you're not going back once you've got paint in the gun, trying to fix everything in a hurry, trying to get it painted. So that's just my 2 cents. And that's kind of where the boys and the girls, you know, you separate with the boys from the girls at this stage right here, because, you know, depending on where you take your projects, there's a lot of companies You know, they're gonna, if you give them a budget of something, they're gonna be like, well, all right, that's so many hours. So once they hit those so many hours, they're gonna be finishing it for you because that's your budget. A lot of shops aren't gonna take the time and go over every little detail for you. And that's one thing, if you're a customer and you want something painted, make sure you take your stuff somewhere that they're gonna go over it with a fine comb. Obviously, that's gonna go into the time and labor, and that's gonna go into more money out of your pocket, but trust me, it's worth it in the end. You wanna make sure everything is fixed because you don't wanna go back and have to have it repainted down the road. And same way if you're a painter, you don't wanna go back down the road if you get this thing finished and you find out that you missed some things, and it shows, you know, especially if you're doing like a show project like this truck, it's gonna be a show truck. Everybody's gonna see everything out in the sunlight, so you wanna make sure it's as perfect as you can get it. And that is just, you know, that's based on skill level, it's based on how many years you've been doing it, but everything right now at this stage of prepping, that's where you fix that type of stuff. Obviously, you're gonna get dirt in the paint when you're spraying, you're gonna get stuff like that as you go along, especially if you're doing graphics or something like that, like I'm doing on this truck. There's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna probably set you back a little bit in time, but if you just stop, take a breather, you know, figure out a way to fix whatever issue it is, fix it right, and that after you get everything done, it's gonna look 10 times better than if you're gonna just rush it and get it done. So that's my 2 cents on that. Fix everything at this stage right now. So I've got the truck all done pretty much. I'm gonna go back over it, like I said, with a fine comb, make sure I get all the cracks and crevices right, make sure the paint's gonna stick to it, make sure the bodywork's gonna be looking flawless once I put paint on this thing. And then what I'll do after that, I'll fully clean everything. I'll pre-clean it, as I call it. Pre-cleaning it just means I'm gonna tape it afterwards, so it's the pre-clean to the taping. So it allows the tape to stick in areas. So I'm gonna clean it, get 90% of the dust and dirt off of it, and then once I get it taped up, get the floor swept up, get this area nice and clean, ready for paint, and then I'll put plastic on everything, tape everything up, and then once I do that, it'll be the final prep and clean, which is wax and grease remover, and then tacking it off, ready for painting. So this is the original hood that I did before. I've already got it sanded back down, and I did that because obviously I've painted this hood from it being fixed prior when I did these graphics. So I'm gonna have to blend them into the fenders. So I'm gonna blend it back into the hood, making sure this color matches with the fenders as well as the rest of the truck and the cowl. And we're going to also add a new color onto this hood. We're gonna put another graphic, as you may call it, onto this hood, a different color that he wanted. So this stage is the perfect timing to do that. That way we can transfer it and make it blend into the truck as well. Because you don't want to just do it on the truck and not do it on the hood. Whatever you're doing, make sure it's on everything. Make sure it flows correctly. That's just, you know, that takes time. It's just experience. You want everything when you're doing graphics on a truck. Make sure it flows really well. Use the body lines. Go over it, you know, lay it out. If you can draw it before you lay it out. Make sure it looks right before you just go ahead and paint everything on. So we got the hood sanded for all that. And that will just be, you know, once I do the side of the truck, I'll just tape the hood up, whatever I want to do with it in that color. And I'll do the sides when I do the hood, and then the hood will be ready for re-clear once I refinish the truck and the truck's ready for clear, so we can just clear everything out once. But it will be multiple sessions, multiple layers of paint. It's gonna, you know, this one thing I want to make these videos on is show you guys how much work actually goes into something like this. Right now I've probably got 24-25 hours into just doing this truck from when I first got it to what it is right now, and that's not even half of it. You know, we haven't even started putting paint on this thing yet. You know, I probably got another 2 or 3 hours in prepping it just before I go ahead and paint it. So I want to make these videos and show you guys this type of stuff, of how much effort and how much work actually and time, you know, goes on this type of stuff of doing, you know, custom projects or painting in general. Because a lot of people don't understand it. You know, they just see the end result and they think it happens overnight, and it doesn't. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of little details you got to get right to make it look good. So by me making these videos, it's going to allow you to see pretty much every stage I'm at. And like I said, I'm about 24, 25 hours into it right now, so it's a lot. But you know, like I said, we're really close to getting into paint, and once we get into paint, it's probably going to take me another 10, 15 hours just to figure out the design, because I'm going to make another video on that before I actually lay everything out. I'm going to take you guys inside, take you to my computer where I have a Cintiq, which is a Wacom, which is just a digitizer screen to where I can draw on. I got programs where I can draw on it, and I can actually take a picture of this truck, upload it to my computer, put it on the program that I use, blow it up, and actually draw on the picture to show me what I'm actually going to do, rather than just going out here and just wasting my time with tape. And you know, it is time going in there. I mean, I might have 5-6 hours just in trying to figure out what design I want to do on the side of this that, you know, flows good with the hood, uses all the colors that we want to use. But it's better for me to do that way, and a lot of artists do it this way, you know, and they charge you for it obviously because it's part of the process. But if I can go and draw it, it's just that much faster when I'm ready for it, the truck part of it. I can come out here and just start laying tape. I know where everything's going to sit, measure everything, transfer it on the other side. You know, it's just that much quicker once you get a roadmap done. So that's going to be another video. It'll probably be one after this, or maybe one after, because I want to try to make a video, another one, of me actually getting this thing ready for paint and me painting it. That way you can see how I tape things up, my process of how I go through and do all this, and all the way to the paint process. Because to a lot of people, this is a lot of work. You know, some people don't understand it. A lot of people look at it and be like, man, that's a lot of work. And it is. So with this is showing you guys steps on how I create this type of, you know, how the outcome becomes an outcome, and how I get it there is the big thing. And a lot of people just feel overwhelmed when they see a big project like this. But in my personal opinion, you gotta treat it as little steps. You know, you don't go to the next step until you finish with step 1. You don't go to step 3 when you don't have step 2 done. So treating it as little steps, making little videos here and there for you guys to watch, and showing you guys how I get it to this each stage that it's going to be at. And then it makes it just look, it's still overwhelming, it's still a lot of work, but it still makes it look doable. You know, breaking it down for you guys as simple as I can is going to make it look, you know, not impossible to a lot of people. So that's my goal with these videos, is to actually show realistically how do you get this stuff from point A. My GoPro shut off on me, so I'm just trying to go over the very last bit of this video again, and my process and my thinking of how to get these projects from step A, step B, C, D, and F, make sure they're getting done correctly and out the door, as well as showing you guys what it takes to actually do this type of stuff. So that's all I'm trying to make these videos for. Hopefully get some type of entertainment out of it. So if you want to like, comment, subscribe, I'll have more videos coming up on this project. Hopefully my next one is going to be the painting one. Until then, take care. And like I said, if you want anything gone over, or if you want me to try to explain things a little bit better, comment down below what you like for me to go over, and I'll try to get to it as best as I can. Till then, see you later.